Are we going to find that out at some point, like 60 years from now when they release it, when most people are dead from the war? Oh my God, Benjamin Netanyahu might be invading my bedroom. The bottle just fell over and it freaked me out. Right, so the honking Donald Trump has just given a speech about essentially the Iran war. And I'm going to read you something that he said on his godforsakenly awful website, Truth, which is the most American capitalistic website. And I'm not against capitalism as such, but dead and red. But it's a terrible site. It's so bad. It's just ads everywhere. But all of these countries that can't get jet fuel because of the Strait of Hormuz, like the United Kingdom, which refused to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, I have a suggestion for you. Number one, buy from the US. Oh, is that like one of the big reasons as to why, potentially went to Iran so other countries have to rely on America? Is that why you went into Venezuela just beforehand? And then you put a full stop and comma. Fire. Fire the person that did that. We have plenty. Give it to us for free then, what? And number two, build up some delayed courage. Go to the strait and just take it. You have to start learning how to fight for yourself. When have we relied on you on a war? Post 1940. And you were late. And we'll get into that. When we relied you on a war? Northern Ireland? Cheers for the help, lads. Took you ages to crack down the guns getting smuggled across the border to Ireland, though. How many troops died because you didn't take action prior to that? We'll get into it. We will. Falklands, you gave us intelligence. That's brilliant, that. Where are the troops? We got invaded. Where are the troops? Where are the troops? Falklands, where are the troops? Where's the troops? Where's the troops in the Falklands? Did you go into Vietnam? Or did you have a bum knee? And then some reason veterans like Donald Trump, even though an actual war hero in John McCain, took the piss out of him for being a POW. That motherfucker got out with a bum knee. I don't know if it was a bum knee. It's a fake little... Well, he's not little. He's so much taller than me. I like Trump in 2016. I don't hate Trump, but he's a fucking... So I have to learn to fight yourselves. Second most wars won, or battles won, the United Kingdom. France is a fake number one. They stole that. It's rigged. It should be in the United Kingdom, but there we go. The USA won't be there to help you anymore. When the fuck did you help us? After World War II, when the fuck did you help us? You gave us intelligence in the Falklands. We worked together with the Five Eyes. We give you intelligence all the time. So I don't take that as one. Just like you weren't there for us. What? Iran is essentially been destroyed. The hard part is done. Go get your own oil, President DJT. What the black clot is happening here? Let's break down some stuff. I'm not going to sit there and go through direct quotes of him right now, but let's break it down for what I've popped up on here on the old screen. So, when it comes to the help that the UK has given Mr. Donald J. Trump, well, not him, but America, the Korean War, 1950 to 53. Both UK and US fought under the United Nations, opposing North Korea and later China. This was a joint effort, not America helping Britain directly. So we were there for you just after the war. We also were in Vietnam. And unlike the French, unlike the Australians, and unlike the Americans, we actually battered the Vietnamese. We didn't need your help then. And it was after World War II. We battered them. You didn't. We battered them. Iraq War, 2003, 2011. Who was the main ally? Was it Israel? Did Israel put down their troops? No, it was the UK. The UK was the main ally for America going to Iraq and Afghanistan. Where were your children in the Iraq and Afghanistan war, by the way? Oh, wait, they probably were doing stuff illegal, like Hunter Biden, probably in the toilet somewhere. They weren't in the war. You weren't in the war. Like, I don't understand how veterans like this fucking prick. I don't hate him, but like, fuck are you? So Iraq, we were there for you. Legal war. Shouldn't have been in there. Probably learnt our lesson not to go in the Middle East again. Wasted too many resources. Like, are we going to find out the Iraq and Afghanistan war was just like 9/11 wasn't a thing, or 7/7 bombings weren't? I don't know. Are we going to find out at some point, like 60 years from now, when they release it, when most people are dead from the war? Oh my God, Benjamin Netanyahu might be invading my bedroom. The bottle just fell over, and it freaked me out. You be silent now, Goy. You be silent. Afghanistan. After 9/11, the UK joined the US in Afghanistan, one of the closest military partnerships in modern history. Once again, like, are you comprehending this? This is probably the best example of modern UK-US cooperation. We didn't have to go into Iraq and Afghanistan, by the way. We didn't have to do it. We did it because you got attacked. Libya intervention 2011, UK plus US, NATO enforced a no-fly zone air campaign against Gaddafi's forces. When we go to the Falklands, US didn't fight directly. Where were your troops? Where the fuck were your troops? We literally got invaded and you weren't there. You want us to go help you with Iran? I don't even know what the fuck is happening in Iran. I haven't got a fucking clue. Yes, they're a pro-Islamic state country. Couldn't give a fuck. It's in the Middle East. Why the fuck do I care about that? Let the Middle East sort it out. Why the fuck do we have to sort out? Oh, Israel. Okay. You gave us intelligence, weapons support, and diplomatic backing. Thank you for that. Really didn't fucking help that much, but okay. The powers and Royal Marines and SES sorted out for us. So, you want to talk about... I'm going to quote this. I'm going against myself. Build up some delayed courage. Go to the straight and just take it. You have to start learning how to fight for yourself. Build up some delayed courage. Build up some delayed... I'm just going to work out the maths here. Just dividing that by 17. Adding that to that, and then times that, and then divide that. World War One, 2 years and 8 months it took America to get in. 2 years and 8 months. The Great War. 2 years and 8 months, lads. We were fighting at the Battle of Somme. Where were you? I mean, we weren't. I fucking wasn't. 28th of July 1914, World War One was started. 6th of April 1917, America decided to stroll up. By April 1917, Britain had already fought the Battle of Somme, Battle of Verdun, France, but British involved in the wider front. Second Battle of Ypres. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'll just go Mario or Luigi or that. What's that frog called? Not the frog, the little dinosaur thingy. Anyway, estimated British casualties before US entry: 900,000 to 1 million casualties total, including roughly 250 to 300,000 death. The WEF turned to Jonathan Wath. The rest wounded or missing. The war was already deeply devastating before America joined. I'm just looking to see where America was. What do you mean courage? Like, look, you were founded because of us. You have the English language. We went and slapped up your White House like that. Us and the Canadians went like that to your White House. The reason you won the war, don't make out to be that it was just America were great. No, you had help from France and Spain, and we were more focused on India. If India wasn't there, France and Spain weren't there, we would have literally dogpiled you in the American Revolution War. So don't give me that shite about like, oh, you got to learn how to fight. You've lost pretty much every single war since World War I and World War II. And it wasn't like World War II was more thanks to the Soviets over America's help. Yes, America contributed a lot, and especially in World War One, is absolutely. I don't hate America, by the way. I love America. I love the history of America. I love the Wild West. I think America's a cool country, and I think the people are cool. I'm not trying to like, who's better, Britain or America? We have so much of a richer history than America. America is such a new country compared to the United Kingdom. So don't sit there and tell me we're trying to learn how to fight when the British troops are notoriously known to be the best trained troops in the world. They're notoriously known for that. We're such a small island, but so many people want to replicate how we use our military, the special forces, to the paras, to Royal Marines. Like, yes, America has a brilliant army. They have the best army in the world. They have the best technology in the world. They obviously do. They're investing $1 trillion into their army. Don't sit there and say how we know how to fight. What? What are you on about? World War II. War began in 1939. US entered the war after Pearl Harbor. So you weren't even going into the blood clot war before you got attacked. 1941, 2 years and 3 months. The losses for Britain. We already done the Battle of Britain, the Blitz, North Africa campaigns. So we've already established the SES at this point. Before the US came in, 90 to 100,000 total casualties, including 40 to 50,000 deaths, majority civilians from bombings. So when it came to Northern Ireland, there was a group called NORAID. So it's NORAID, November, Oscar, Romeo, Alpha, India, Delta, NORAID. Pretty self-explanatory there. Operates in a grey area. Money and some weapons still got these. In the 70s, they were freely allowed to just do what they wanted to do. It wasn't major crackdowns. So it took you 10 years to crack down on a conflict that was killing civilians. Maybe we'll just take 10 years to go into the Strait of Hormuz. Maybe we'll just take 2 and a bit years. We might just send a dinghy over there or something like that. I don't know. You know, we might just send the boys from Dunkirk, just send little fisher boats over there to collect the oil. So if you want to talk about history and the delayed reaction to the support of your allied nations, America is known not to go into wars that don't just solely revolve around them. They didn't want to go into World War One and they didn't want to go into World War Two. But Libya was one of the main, if not the main suppliers of weapons to the IRA. You decided to attack Libya, mid 2000s, early 2000s, something like that? 2014, 2015, when did Gaddafi go? Around about that time. So what? 70s, 80, 90 to 10, 45 years? 45 years? We might just take 45 years to go get our oil from Iran then. If you want to play by history, every time there's been a war that you needed the UK's help for, Korea, I mean, we're in Vietnam before you, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, we helped you. Now we don't want to help. Why do we want to get involved in this war? Why? You said you didn't need us, now you're saying you need us. Why would we help you? I have no clue. Why would I want to go fight Iran? I have no clue what they do. Oh, they might fund Hezbollah and Hamas and Al-Qaeda and ISIS and all these other... Okay. The fuck do we do about that? Why is that our problem? We've got more problems back at home than we do in the Middle East. You got Israel there. You got the UAE. You got Kuwait. You got Dubai. You've got Saudi Arabia. I don't know, United Arab... I don't know if UAE is Dubai, to be real honest with you. But you got Saudi Arabia. You got these fucking countries that can go sort them out. You got Turkey that's part of NATO. Go get them countries. Why does America have to go across the Pacific to then try to stop Iran? I don't give a fuck. Don't care. This isn't like 2001 where we're all patriotic and supportive. We've kind of grown up realizing the American government are now lying to us. There was no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, the terrorists on the plane were from Saudi Arabia. There's loads of conspiracy theories about it. Few people dancing was a bit weird. Don't know what those blokes from the Middle East were dancing, but dancing over a time like that, who would be dancing about that? Interesting that. In that wild. So this is my response. As someone that's from England, I like America. I like the American people. I don't hate Trump, but he's completely and utterly kissed the wall. And as someone that doesn't want to support endless wars, someone that doesn't want to get involved in the Middle East, someone that wants to sort out my own country. So what you've done here for me is that you've raised the prices for necessities, oil or petrol or fuel, gas, electric is probably going to go up, heating is going to go up. Cheers for that. For what? Iran's going to bomb the UK? I don't think so. And if they have a nuclear weapon, okay. Right, Israel has a nuclear weapon. Israel, how did they get their nuclear weapon? How did they get their nuclear weapon, Trump? You complain about Ukraine. Does anyone know the history of Ukraine with Russia? There's a really bad past with Ukraine and Russia. You do realize that the war's been going on since 2014 in Crimea, Donbass region. The situation in Ukraine versus Iran, Ukraine is so much more worse. So much more worse. It's a country invading another country, a sovereign nation. It's so much worse. And there's loads of things that you could say, well, Ukraine is X, Y, and Z, and Russia are the good guys. That is just complete and utter right-wing propaganda. But it's like, once again, I'm more right-wing than I am left-wing. But it's complete. Russia is not a good country to live in. The Russian people are probably really amazing. I absolutely love the fact that Russia is Orthodox Christian, as myself. As you can see, you probably can't really see it, but that's an Orthodox cross. I think Russia's beautiful. I want to go to Russia because I'm really interested in World War II. I want to see where Kursk is. I want to see where I want to go in Ukraine too because of World War II. I want to explore the Eastern European countries that were affected by World War II. But the way you treated Zelensky, asking for aid, and you're like, I'm not giving him aid, and then you want the UN to buy the weapons so you generate more money, or UN countries, European countries, so they can then give it to Ukraine. You don't care about the Western alliance at all. All you care about is America when it comes to getting the Western alliance to pay for more stuff. That's it. That's all you don't care. Like, that's your only America first policy. Other than that, everything is just wash. What's happened to you building the wall? That's not happening anymore. This is just fully Israel. Israel, Israel, Israel. How can we get Trump to keep on supporting Israel's narrative? This is the only way we can do it. Everything else, they were supportive, but they wouldn't go full action Iran. They wouldn't fully support the invasion of Palestine, whereas Trump will. And I'm so sick and shut the fuck. When you talk about the UK saying that, like, we need to essentially pull on our big boy pants and learn to fight again, you've never fought. And the time that you could have fought, you got a bum knee. And then the time that you could have honoured a veteran that was a colleague of yours in politics, let's say, you shit on him. I do not like my veterans captured. What? It was a POW. He fought for his country. He did dangerous missions. I don't agree with the Vietnam War, but I find it very interesting. I don't hate the people in Vietnam. The American soldiers went out there. Some of them, yes, because they commit inhumane acts against civilians and just, against the Geneva Convention. We just came out of World War II pretty much at that point, just a new generation of young guys fighting a pointless war. Vietnam, pointless. Korea, pointless. Iraq and Afghanistan, pointless. The Gulf War, pointless. In the 90s. Pointless. Pointless. How many people died there? How many people died in Vietnam and their bones are still there? We never got to collect them again. American soldiers that are just dead there. Why would we want to do that again in Iran? We don't care about it. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry to say. Look, the way that you can actually look at this, right? And I looked at my phone like saying, oh my God, Nenjin Netanyahu. Pendulum netting, shut the fuck up. Benjamin, what am I saying? I've got distracted by Benjamin Netanyahu now. Overall, we've become wise. Americans, Europeans, we don't want to fight these wars. Just like how America didn't want to fight European wars in World War I and World War II. There's a big push. We don't want to fight those European wars. That ain't us. We're not getting in any sissy boy wars. Okay, cool. We don't want to get in your war. Couldn't give a fuck about the Middle East. I do. I want to go to Israel. I want to see where Jesus is, but I fucking hate the government in Israel. And it's also the fact that a lot of people in Israel don't like the government in Israel. Just let people just live, bro. Let people just live. Maybe it is the right decision to attack Iran. I don't know. Actually, this is the point I was making before I got distracted by Benjamin Netanyahu, and I really need to remember this. And I've completely forgotten about it. That was it. I don't know what's happened to my mind here. Some MK Ultra stuff. If you want us to go into a war with Iran, America, so the UK or the Western alliance to help America in this situation, you should have had, like they did in COVID times, back in the UK, when every day they'll have a meeting or an announcement and they'll go through the stats, etc., over X, Y, and Z of COVID, and they'll have Boris Johnson at a time and 2 specialists, for example. You should be doing that every day. What is it that we're going to war for? Do they have nuclear weapons? Okay, then give us the fucking information. Why would I want to go risk my life when you're like, nah, that's against national security? Then national security is nuts in your mouth. I don't know what to say to you. Like, you're not giving us the information. We need solid proof. Iraq and Afghanistan, you literally said it was pointless wars. There was no WMDs. Now, all of a sudden, you did the B-2 bombers and the whole thing is destroyed. And then 6-9 months later, giggity. I apologize. But in that time frame, all of a sudden they've got uranium again to then just have nuclear weapons? Oh, fucking cool. Sound lad, send me to Iran, yeah. This is so clearly for Israel. It is so clearly for Israel. Like, fuck it. Fuck them and fuck this. We don't want it. I want less Zionist control. I don't want friends with Israel in this country. I don't want APAC in America. I want us to focus on the European alliance, the Western alliance with America, and see how we can improve our lives. Let the Middle East sort out the Middle East. It's not our problem. Look, Iraq and Afghanistan, not a problem anymore, are they? They have terrorist groups. They're not a problem. You killed over 1 million civilians over there. Well, not you personally, but the war machine did. Syria is literally now close. For some reason, the bloody guy came to UK and met Keir Starmer. $10 million bounty, by the way, terrorist, literally a terrorist, is now just a puppet to America and the Western Alliance and Israel. But that's fine because he's in power now. We're just going to excuse the fact that he was a terrorist. Yeah, we're just going to excuse that fact. You come to UK, shake Keir Starmer's hand, fuck you, Keir Starmer. You're literally just shaking hands with a terrorist. You should have gone in there, gone in to shake his hand, like, oh, you're right, mate. It's literally throw your whole body at it. Doesn't matter if you fall to the ground. It's like, what's the point of fighting a war when the next regime's going to be a bloody terrorist from Al Qaeda or ISIS or something like that? And we're meant to go, sound, those British troops that died, those British troops that were injured, those British troops that had mental health issues, that are affected for their life forever, that are on disability, that potentially their wives or their girlfriends at the time just broke up with them or cheated on them, and now they have a bad relation to kids and they can't even, they don't know what a normal life is because they have PTSD. Over what? So why would we go into this war? Why would we? It doesn't make sense. I don't want to. Nobody does. Like, fuck you. Go send your kids over there. There's already been American lives lost. There's already been civilians killed, kids killed. Why would we want to do that? I'm not saying the Iranian regime's a good thing. I don't want that fucking Iranian regime in. I don't. I'd rather have the democracy they had before. But it's their country. It's the Middle East's problem. They're an Islamic, whole continent. What the fuck do we have to do with it? Fuck off. This is the exact same with World War I and World War II. You didn't want to get in European wars. We don't want to get in your bullshit American war. And I want to make it clear, I'm not some random left-winger. I'm pretty centralist in my viewpoints. I probably agree more with the policies on left-wing. My identity politics are right-wing. I know this is like the opposite way, but for me, it's left and right. I know you have to mirror it, but, I'm not smart. I don't hate Donald Trump. I don't hate America. I really love America. I love American history. I love the Wild West. I can distinguish between the difference between history and saying the Wild West was really cool with the Native Americans, etc. With all the deaths and whatnot. It's like 300 years ago. Like, I'm not going to sit there and start crying about, what was it, the Trail of Tears or something like that. I'm just going to read and go, oh, that's interesting. Pretty brutal. Interesting. Because in 100 years' time, if I was a casualty in Iran, nobody's going to go, oh, let's look at each soldiers. No, you're not going to care. Nobody cares about the Gulf War. Many people probably don't even know that after World War II, there's the Korean War. They probably just think it goes to World War II to Vietnam. Nobody cares about Vietnam. The soldiers that came back in Vietnam were spat at. The black soldiers that came back from Vietnam weren't treated right, even though they served their country. And they're going back to neighborhoods and they're getting called people that annoy you. Naggers. Oh, you thought I said it. But they're completely mistreated. There were so many homeless vets. No one gave a shit. It was a big problem with homeless vets at that point. And it became a big push for the veterans. It wasn't like World War II. So when you have a generation that look up and go, oh, my dad was part of World War II, and look at all the people that are there. They come back on the planes. The government doesn't give a shit about them. They've seen horrific acts happen. They don't know why they're in Vietnam anymore. And then they get spat at by the public because of the war. Then you go to the Gulf War. Who even remembers the Gulf War? Operation Desert Storm. I only remember that because of the video game. It was a class video game. You had Connor. I think was that the demolition guy? Was that the black guy? I can't remember Connor. And then Iraq and Afghanistan. We know those are pointless wars. We know we lied. You said it yourself it was a pointless war. Now you want us to go into Iran. The baby. What's the point? What is the point? What is the point? Do I get my cock out now and helicopter over to Iran so we can get our oil? I must say this very clear. You can get fucked, Donald J. Trump. We ain't doing that over here. I don't want to go into a war. And even if I'm not signed up, I don't want my fellow British people on this little island, or the fellow Europeans, or even the Americans lose their lives, or the innocents in Iran lose their lives. Yes, there is a lot of casualties that happened in the uprising, you could say, earlier this year with the protests. I get that. That needs to be solved, okay? Maybe leave it to fucking Israel to do. Israel's not supported America in any war. They've never put troops on the ground since the creation in 47 and 48. They didn't help in Vietnam with troops. They didn't help in Korea prior to that. They didn't help in Iraq and Afghanistan. They didn't help in the Gulf War. And now they're flying over with Iran. Are they going to put troops on the floor? If they do not put troops on the floor, cancel every single alliance. Absolutely destroy APAC. The next president needs to... That's the biggest problem, is APAC. It needs to be completely and utterly destroyed. That is something that needs to be revamped. We simply cannot have, in our countries, like foreign intelligence or foreign influence so strongly like it does with Israel. And then the fact that you get called anti-Semitic. Most of these fucking people aren't even Semites themselves. They're Europeans. The Semites themselves, and this might be lack of knowledge, are the people they're killing, the Arabs. They're the Semites. And I don't support Zionism. I don't support Zionism. Like, I've seen so many videos of Christians being spat at because they're a Christian. I'm not saying every Israeli is like that. Not at all. But you have extremists in Israel. Like, I don't quite understand this. You have a go at Ukraine, even though they're defending themselves, but you'll happily give billions upon billions upon billions to Israel with the conspiracy theory that they stole their nuclear fucking arsenal from America. And you want us to sit there and think that, like, this is a good thing. Really? Really? You want us to buy the weapons from you to give to Ukraine because you don't want to give it yourself, yet you'll be taking a credit for Ukraine. Ridiculous. You didn't end all these wars either. People laugh at you for that. You didn't end India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan couldn't give a flying fuck about you. You know, the midterms are going to be a real good thrashing for Trump. And I don't support, like, a Democrat or Republican. Okay, the only person I kind of like is Jane Fishback because I'm on the old, you know, hype train of TikTok and Instagram Reels. But apart from that, the next Democrat, I don't know. Gavin Newsom probably can't be Kamala Harris, surely not. But then Kamala Harris will probably win. People don't want Republicans; they don't want JD Vance. Like what we want is that someone that's in power in America that goes, look, Israel, sound that you're on your own now. We're not. I'm banning APAC. APAC cannot exist anymore. That is not right for the American government. America's rich already. Trump is rich already, and he still will accept millions and millions and millions from APAC. Why? You're rich already. That's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. You want more wealth. And you keep saying, God bless America, God bless our troops. Stop using religion as a way to try to get people to be on your side. You are not a Christian. When those two people are around you, this is the first Jewish president and to win the first term and a second term. And he's like, yeah, I'm the first Jewish president. Really? If you're a Christian, why the fuck are you being called a Jewish person then? Like, that's wild. You should go, no, I'm a Christian. But no, because you're not religious at all. Trump is not. He's an 1980s, 1990s businessman. He isn't religious at all. All he cares about is the green, is the money. That's all he cares about. That's his religion, is money. So stop trying to use God bless America and God bless our troops in a horrific war that Jesus wouldn't support. Jesus Christ would not support this war. So for me, this is on the borderline of blasphemy because you're using the Lord's name in God as a way to try to say, yes, God bless our troops, God bless America for us doing this. This is not something that you bring religion in. You're not religious yourself. You're just not. From what I can see, you may be born a Christian, you don't practice it. You're saying that you might go to hell for the stuff you've done. Really? Then repent your sins. Repent your sins then. Because then you're not religious if you're going to do that. If you feel like you're going to go to hell, you would repent your sins. Overall, I don't mind Trump. I think he's all right. I think every president and prime minister, essentially, and people in power are just all the same. Every politician is just, well, not every single one of them. The vast majority are rats that get away with everything. Tony Blair's still walking about. George Bush is still walking about. Dick Cheney, not. Even though, like, I don't really want to speak ill in the death because Vice was actually quite a good film. But the actions resulted in millions of civilians dying. We just don't care. We don't care. Okay, whatever. Fuck you for saying that we should get involved. Fuck you, Trump. Maybe we'll take 2.5 years like you did in World War I and World War II, you fucking prick. And then every single British person will just dodge the draft like you did in Vietnam. Fuck you. But I don't mind you. I don't want to come off like a left-wing lunatic, nor am I an alt right-wing person. But fuck you, Trump.